Hello everyone, I'm Mr. Bueno and welcome to my first ever video on this channel. This video is going to be a tutorial on how to open a door in Unreal 5 and I will show you my way of doing it. There are many ways of doing this, but this way is what works for me, so let's go. Click on the right mouse button, press Blueprint class and then Actor and name it Door BP, short for Blueprint. Actor is what is needed for this and is the general blueprint type for interactable objects in a level. Now add a static mesh component and add a door mesh with static mesh. The engine comes with a door mesh if you choose to include a starter content when creating the project, which I will use for this video. Then add a box collision. The box collision is for allowing the playable character to interact with the object. And if you want, you can also add 2 more static meshes like I will this time, for doorknobs, for a more interesting door. Now you can place a door in the level for just an easy fast peek of how it looks in the level. Now delete those 2 nodes because they are not needed. Now add an on-component begin overlap and an on-component end overlap. Then from other actor on begin overlap, add a cast to third person character and do the same with end overlap. From begin overlap you will now add an enable input, and from end overlap you will add an disable input. Then from player controller on enable input and disable input you will then add a get player controller. Now from enable input you will add a gate and you will connect enable input into open and from disable input into close. And then from enter you will add an F key, but you can choose whatever key you want to use, if you want to use E or V or whatever. From the gate's execution pin, add the do once node, and then from the completed pin from the do once node add a sequence. From then 0 add a delay. I put the duration for 0.5. Then from completed add the play 2D sound. Then from the 2D sound add a timeline and name it door open. Open it and put the length for 3 seconds and then add a flow track and name it door open. Put the first one on time 0 value 0 and then the next keyframe choose time 3 and value 1. From the timeline animation pin add a lerp. And now from the timeline update execution pin add a set relative rotation node. And from the rotation right click and split structure spin. And from the return value of lerp connect it to the C yaw from the C axis. And change connection from A to alpha. The A value is the closed value from the door and the B value is the angle it's supposed to be when it's open. Now click on the door and look for the correct rotation angle that you want it to be open. Normally it's 90 degrees. Now in the B value of the lerp put in 90, or in this case it is minus 90. Now duplicate the play 2D sound, paste it under the other, and connect it to the then one pin in the sequence. And if you want, you can name it doorknob to keep things in track. Then from the play 2D sound execution pin, add a timeline and name it doorknob handle. Open it and put the length on 1 second. Add a flow track and name it doorknob. The first key is to time 0 value 0. The second keyframe is 0.5 at time and value at 1. And the third keyframe is time 1 value 0. And if you want to be faster, you can copy the already existing lerp and paste it beside the new timeline. And from alpha, connect it to the doorknob new time, and then change the B value. And from the update execution pin, add a set relative rotation. And again, split the structure spin in the new rotation. And also, from the component section, drag doorknob and doorknob 1 into the event graph and plug them into target in the set relative rotation. And the turn value is supposed to be connected to the X value. And now you can go back to the level and see your progression on the door. And now I noticed I connected the doorknob's lerp into the wrong value. It's supposed to be on the Y value. Silly me. And now you see the door handle is working better. Now this next part is the on-screen prompt. A text on screen that says open door. This is, although optional, if you don't want to you can skip this part, but if you want to, you can follow along. Hold P and press right mouse button. And from begin play, add a create widget. Left mouse click and hover over user interface and then press widget blueprint. And press user widget and name it door prompt widget. Add a canvas panel and then add a vertical box under the canvas panel, and then add a text and drag it into the vertical box and anchor it to the lower middle. The first one you can just name F, or whatever letter you want to use to press the door with. Then duplicate the already existing text and change the text to open door. Then compile and add it into the create widget node. And from return value, press promote the variable and then name it door prompt. Go back to viewport and duplicate the box collision and name it box prompt. Now go back to event graph right click on box prompt and then add event and click on add on component begin overlap and add on component end overlap. Then from begin overlap, from the execution pin add a branch and duplicate it and connect it to the end overlap. Then from the condition add an equal node and do the same for the other branch and connect the first one to the other actor. Do the same with the one under. And from the first equal on the under blue connection add a get player character and connect it to the other equal node. And now from the variable section, drag out the door prompt and click get. And from the door prompt, add enable input. Add to viewport. And plug it into true on the branch. And then from door prompt, add a remove from parent and connect it to the true on the other branch. Then click on both the door prompt variable and the remove from parent and duplicate them and paste it after the gate and before the do once node. And also you can add a set visibility and set it to hidden. Now you can check it in the viewport and the level. You see, it appears on the screen. And if you want, you can add a variable to choose whether you want to see the on-screen text or not. By going back to create widget and add a branch before the create widget. Add a branch and from the condition press promote the variable and name it show widget. And then you press a little I there, so that means instance editable, which gives you the ability to change it in the level. Copy paste it and connect it into false. And copy and paste visibility and paste it after the variable. Now you see it in the level 2. Now I'm going to try to explain how this coding works. The component begin overlap. This one's here. The player has to stand within this area in order to actually communicate with the coding. And the cast a third person character is what is the character you're playing as. Whenever you start a project, you either choose to have a third person template or a first person. If you play in first person, it would have to be cast to first person character BP instead, but this time it's third person. So end overlap also means whenever you stand outside you can't communicate, which is also why you have disable input and enable input. And this here, get player controller, is that you actually can use a controller to do so. And this is also where the get comes in. Whenever you're close and press F, whenever you get close, you're actually opening the control, and when you're not close, when you're outside the area, it's closed. And here you press Enter with F, and I see here remove from parent with the door prompt. This is the part you see on screen, which this is a part of. We'll talk about this later. This is also just to make sure that it stays hidden. And this do once node, this is what works best for me. What I find most easiest to work with is do once node. They only happens once, and this sequence, which means you can do multiple things at once. You can just add another pin here, and you can add like I don't know, the door flies up if you want to, or no. And it's a delay so that I don't know, it feels more smoother. That it doesn't happen right away, but more like half a second after you press the button, then the door opens. And 2D sound, it's different from the 3D sound, which means that whenever you are, that it plays like, how to explain it? It plays everywhere, not just in a radius. And this is the timeline where you control the things, like how long should the animation be playing, and it tells here you choose how long it's playing and all the values and stuff. And from update, here's a relative rotation is at what rotation is supposed to be, and what rotation the animation is supposed to be controlled in, which this time is a CL. And here is the values you choose, the rotations you choose, and the alpha is the way things are connected. The alpha is basically everything together that you connect, and you control this separately from these parts. I'm sorry if I'm not explaining it exactly how it should be or very clear, but I'm trying my best to explain things here. And also, you have to connect the door model here, the static mesh. Otherwise, it's gonna be very hard. Same thing here, the doorknobs. You connect them to the target here, and same goes from the doorknob handle. Another to sound that you can add if you want to. And now we're going back to here, the on-screen text, which is the event begin play, which means everything starts right away when you press play. And why I added a branch is because a branch is more like a true or false thing. If you want something to happen when it's true, you go from true. If you want something to happen when it's no, then you connect it to the false. And this is condition, as what has to be true or not. This time, what has to be true is either show the widget or no. If I want to show the widget, I create the widget there with also this variable. And if I don't want it to be true, then I still create the widget, but I choose it to be hidden. And this is where we control where we see it. Same thing with this part. Again, the branch, this is add to viewport, which is how you usually add a widget to the screen. Add to viewport, and when you're outside it, you have this remove from parent, which removes the widget from the screen. This happens every time you enter or you get out of it. And this equal node is basically if it's not equal to the player character, then you won't see anything. And why I duplicated the box collision is because I haven't managed to make it work otherwise. It's easier for me that way. Maybe you can find another way, but this is my way of doing it, which has worked very fine for me actually. So yes, this is what the coding does. Thank you guys for watching. That was it for this video. If you liked the video, please leave a like and leave a comment on what you thought about it. I see you in the next video. Goodbye.